guys, it's Sam, and today I'm going to be talking about The Green Witch, Your Complete Guide to the Natural Magic of Herbs, Flowers, Essential Oils, and More by Anna Murphy-Hiscock. This is a very popular book in the witchy community. It's very Instagrammable, it's very pretty, but as you can see from my plethora of tabs, I also found it incredibly helpful. So if you found this video and you are not familiar with me and my journey, I am very much new to this. I consider myself more of a seeker, and I do have a video about my journey and foundation and where I want to take my path that I will link on the screen for you to check out that might give you some context when I talk about witchy books. So Anna Murphy-Hiscock is a pretty popular Canadian author who has been in the spiritual world for over 20 years, and she has written a number of books, and this is probably her most popular, but she has a number of other ones. I think she has a home witch, a kitchen witch, she has one on spell casting, and I think she has one for self-care. There might be more than that, but they all kind of have this look to them and are very pretty, and people like them for that reason, but also there's a ton of information in here. This is the second witchy book that I've read, along with a lot of other research on online forums, blogs, YouTube channels, TikTok, and the educational section of TikTok, and things like that, but I highly enjoyed this. So this is obviously a focus on green witchcraft, but what I really liked from the get-go with this is that she is very much there are no rules with green witchcraft. There is no real focus on Wicca, because I've read some other books that have more of a Wicca focus, and I am not Wiccan and don't really want to read about that religious practice, so it was nice for her to be like, hey, green witches don't really have any rules, you make your own. She even talks about how she has a green witch notebook and not a book of shadows, because she considers it much more of a science-based thing where she goes and observes nature but also then writes down her more magical feelings about it, which I thought was really cool. So the book does definitely focus on make it your own, make it your own path. Here's what I do, but it's not necessarily the right way. Here's some spells and rituals. It doesn't feel like it's super structured in a way that she's hey, this is the only right way to do it. And there's a lot of exercises in here about grounding and communing with nature and discovering the energy of trees and things like that. But she also has some educational stuff in here. So she has a whole section that's just about gardening, not from a magical standpoint. And I skim read that because I don't have a garden right now, but she has this whole here's how to physically garden. And then she has a section at the back that is kind of kitchen magic, which kitchen magic is not something that I am drawn to at all, but she has straight up recipes in here that are yes, there's a magical component to them, but they're recipes. There's a ton of correspondences in here as well. So she talks about flowers, herbs, trees, things like that, crystals. Like I said, I have tabbed this book up a ton because I found it so helpful. So the beginning of the book focuses on the history of green witches and the ethics of it and the connection to nature, on energy. She focuses first on grounding and meditation, getting in touch with nature, sensing the vibe of different nature elements. She has a big focus on getting to know your local area, your local nature, and just being in touch with that, which I think is really cool. There's stuff about the seasons, about seasonal rituals, about the moon, all the things that I really like about the path and this spiritual path, woo-woo witchy path. And then towards the back she starts having things about creating spell bags and satchels and stuff, how to create balms and healing things. And she definitely says, this is not going to heal actual medical cancers and stuff, but if you have a headache or a skinned knee, here's some things that you can use that are more natural. How to brew your own teas, how to make your own incense, things like that. And then at the back she has a whole appendix of magical correspondences for everything, which I marked out. And then she even includes some references to other books that she references in this book. So she has a whole bibliography in the back, and she references other books throughout this book, so she's not building herself up as this teacher that knows everything. Her writing is slightly more dense than other authors I've read, because I do read a lot of my witch books, nonfiction books, right before bed, so sometimes I'm a little I couldn't quite focus, but it's not super dense like some more textbooky feeling witchy books. I will say one complaint I did have was that at the very beginning she does say, I'm gonna say she, her when talking about a practitioner, about a witch, because it's just easier, but know that anybody of any gender can do this. And that's just not really necessary, because it would be so much easier to use they, them, or just neutral or all of the pronouns to talk about a practitioner. So she says that I'm just doing this for convenience or whatever, and then throughout there are times when she does say a more neutral the practitioner, they. I don't know if she ever says he, but I'm just the witch books do this a lot where they just are kind of hey, I'm just gonna say her and focus more on women, and I'm you don't need to though, and not even necessarily just for non-binary and trans people, though that's a huge deal, but everybody of any identity can practice. Men, women, non-binary, trans, anybody. So why not just say Honestly, why not just use a combination? Why not sometimes say she, her, sometimes use he, him, sometimes use they, them, sometimes just say like the practitioner, the witch, like just throw it all in there instead of saying I'm just gonna use her because it's easier. Like, is it? Just use it all. Like, I don't know why a lot of authors do that. It's just, I don't know if all of her books are like that. And she doesn't, again, come off as like turfy or anything like that. But I'm just like, you don't, like, you proved it within the book that you don't need to do that. So why? Why'd you do that? But so many witchy books do that. So that is the only complaint that I have. And then towards the back, again, the kitchen magic, I didn't really like need to use, but that's just like a me thing. So I skipped over a bunch of that at the very end. So I thought I had way more left of the book, and then that whole part happened, I just skipped it, and then it was at the end of the book. But I really enjoyed this, found it super helpful, really like, again, her just saying like, there's no rules, create your own path, here's some exercises, here's what I do, here's some information, here's some actual like, you know, all the correspondences and things like that. So I really liked that, and none of it felt like appropriative. She doesn't use any kind of things that I noticed that are from other closed culture. She's very good about that. So I really liked her writing style. I would say I'd give this like a 4.5 stars. Not quite a 5 because of, again, a couple of the little things that kind of bugged me, but otherwise I really enjoyed this, and I do plan on reading more of her books. I will probably get the spellcasting one. I know that's for sure on my list. I think, oh, there's another one that's like a protection one that I really like. So it's just like foundational, like protection cleansing type book, which sounds really cool. So one of that, the spellcasting one, and the self-care one are probably the 3 that I'm gonna get. Not so much the kitchen witch or the like home witch, but yeah, I really like her stuff. Highly recommend her. She's popular for a reason besides just having very beautiful books. She's been fortunate to have that, but she has really good information here as well. So I really like her and recommend this highly. So comment down below, let me know your thoughts on The Green Witch. And if you have any recommendations for like tree magic, that's something that I really want to like focus in on a tad more, but I haven't really been able to find things specifically about that are more modern. Again, I just prefer more modern in the last like 5-10 years books. I know I can go back and find some of the like older, more Wiccan reference books and stuff, but if you have any more newer ones, definitely let me know, because it's a harder sort of like subgenre within witchy books to find. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye.